Patrick. He stands with the chairman of Anglia Television, Lord Townshend of Raynham.
Hello everyone. Anglia served Eastern England for more than 30 years. From its studios in Norwich, the company...
There's another programme tomorrow.
The news magazine.
One.
Cue music.
Tea time on a wet and blustery autumn day 60 years ago. Anglia bringing commercial television to the east of England.
It was spend with Anglia, like 10 shillings and sixpence, which they recklessly spent on an airfix kit and a tin of silver paint, sticking the result on a dance-set gramophone turntable. Anglia, known for its tedious survival program about species too stupid to avoid extinction, such as the following, which all lost their franchise. Mavericks.
Century.
Which was on a turntable and reflected this lovely bit of silver. So for our anniversary we thought we'd embark on something new. And our film library had been saving...
Oh.
And that's the lot.
At 4:05 on Nighttime USA, a little country music from the Grand Ole Opry. That's after the shootout with Sledgehammer. Now in Anglia, our detective who seems to have a head for trouble. Maybe he's a hammerhead, and this week he gets taken hostage by mistake. Yes, it's Sledgehammer.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Sledgehammer, he's all shook up.
Sorry, there'll be no more impersonations of Elvis by me. I've been slipped a fiver by the station engineer, and he hasn't opened his wallet for the last 3 years. The Grand Ole Opry now!
See, we're back.
Now in Anglia, Sledgehammer hunts out some vigilante cops who are killing freed criminals released through lack of evidence. This week's story, Magnum Farce.
And our next trip to ITM will be just about 5 o'clock when we catch in for the morning news. But now, Sledgehammer, he's going back to his student days.
As subtle as a sledgehammer, but more dangerous, David Rash plays the cop who shoots first and asks questions later, if anybody's still alive, that is. Some say Sledgehammer's a wet cop. Well, he was tonight, wasn't he? This is Nighttime USA from Anglia TV, and now a visit to the Grand Ole Opry.
Trust him, he knows what he's doing. Next week he meddles with The Kiss of the Spider-Woman. But now it's curtain up! Places, everybody! It's time for the Grand Ole Opry Live! Yeah!
Our super sleuth has been poisoned, but who will rush to save him? Why, himself, of course. But will he go down a dead end? Yes, it's Sledgehammer.
Yeehaw! In half an hour's time we're off to the Grand Ole Opry Live. But now, Sledgehammer... Hey, Sledge, where's your gun?
Now, Nighttime USA, the gun is loaded, the dice are loaded, and so too is Hammer as he seeks revenge on a violent robber in Sledgehammer.
Yes, Em, there certainly is more news. Coming up at 5 a.m. with the morning news, a roundup of world, American and home news. But now it's Sledgehammer. And we'll be rejoining Brenda Rowe and her dazzling necklace at round about 5 o'clock this morning. But now, stand by, it's Sledgehammer.
All right, my loves, all right, stand in line, good game, good game. Yeah, we want to choose the next spaceman. Oh, you look a nice, healthy specimen. What's your name, Sledgehammer?
There he is, alone in his room, talking to his gun. I mean, what sort of guy sits alone in a room, talking to himself?
But now it's Happy Honeymoon for Sledgehammer. 50 years. Yes, it's Sledgehammer.
Sports World Extra, but now a man who's 2 vouchers short of a golf club.
Or was it murder? Sledgehammer investigates. For changing at 1, but now David Raish rounds up a few criminals in this week's story from Sledgehammer. Lovely.
Hey, I said, now listen, just sit down, take it easy. Trust me, I know what I'm doing, like Sledgehammer.
With run away, won't leave him alone. Now here's someone who won't leave his gun alone. It's Sledgehammer.
Takeover. The deal would bring together one of the oldest and...
Now on Anglia, an extra programme with a pop profile of the beautiful South.
Now on Anglia, will Joan be able to challenge the might of Jumbo Jude and Dippy Davo in Cell Block H?
Now Cell Block H and another quiet day in the restroom of Wentworth, where sharing is the order of the day. Now the hidden cameras and microphones of the Special Reports team enter the land of the chat-up line.
In half an hour, Lynn lays it on the line and Kim sets out to impress in Emmerdale. First, here's Anglia News with the top stories from your part of the region. Now, Nick's happy to play ball with Frank, but Lynn is threatening to blow the whistle on Archie in Emmerdale. In half an hour, the bill settle down for a hard day's night. In the meantime, crime and punishment is the theme of Countrywide. And whose job is it to apprehend the guilty?
First this evening on Anglia, The Bill. Before that, at 7:30, Curly comes clean about his dirty intentions for Kimberly in Coronation Street. First, Michael Aspel comes clean when he declares, "This is your life." Well, you can have the time of your life in half an hour if you join Patrick Swayze for a spot of Dirty Dancing, the movie premiere, at 8. First, Coronation Street. First, slightly more competence is displayed by the bill. Meanwhile, keep your eye on the television for Coronation Street. Gloria is still trying to help swell the barren coffers of Beaumont House in half an hour. Hope and Gloria follows Hope It Rains.
But out of my business, that's the subject on the Trisha programme in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow.
Cell Block H opens its doors at 12:10 here on Anglia, leaving us 60 minutes to spend on the South Bank.
Now, Jim Dale plays Spike Milligan, and Spike Milligan plays Spike Milligan's dad in the Saturday Night film, Adolf Hitler, My Part in His Downfall.
Pollard and Elizabeth are making wedding plans, and there's an unwelcome visitor in Emmerdale at 7. First, a look at today's events. Anglia News.
Half an hour. On Channel 4 shortly, it's a free-for-all, while here on Anglia, justice moves in mysterious ways for the bill.
Now an invitation to leave reality far behind and enter the Twilight Zone. In half an hour tonight, the bill. First, a hairy moment for Reg in Coronation Street. Now on Anglia, Dr. Finlay.
Now on Anglia, time to pay another visit to the Wentworth Detention Centre for prisoner Cell Block H.
Well, Mrs.
This is Anglia. First, today's news for the east and west of the region. Before that, now on Anglia, a short programme from Survival, Cliffhangers.
Now an Anglia drama based on the life of Pat Phoenix.
I need
This is Anglia at 40.
Music Man and Mascara now. Walk on the Wild Side. Good evening, you're watching Anglia Television.
Now on Anglia, Roger Moore's last outing as 007. There's rugby highlights in half an hour. That's after some cold feet though. You're watching Anglia Television.
Now on Anglia, live from Silverstone, qualifying for the British Grand Prix. Talking soccer on the balls after Anglia News. The best basketballs on NBA 2000 at 3:05.
Now in Anglia, matters seem to go from bad to worse for Jack Mowbray in Without Motive.
It's men!
New period drama now on Anglia. Set in Edwardian London, Kevin Whately stars in Plain Jane. The latest Anglia news is in half an hour after cover story. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, it's the £1 million final of Survivor. But now on Anglia, Kevin Whately stars in the concluding part of Plain Jane. New period drama now on Anglia. Set in Edwardian London, Kevin Whately stars in Plain Jane. The latest Anglia news is in half an hour after cover story. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, it's the £1 million final of Survivor. But now on Anglia, Kevin Whately stars in the concluding part of Plain Jane.
On stage with the Teenage Stars tomorrow night at 11. But now, the real Red Caps.
It's 6 o'clock. Now, first with the news for your part of the region, Anglia News Tonight.
Tomorrow night at 11 o'clock, our new series New Voices follows a Kurdish asylum seeker, delivering his own version of the citizenship test. But now on ITV1, another new series, Tasting History.
I wonder if there'll be any Westlife. Brian McFadden's Orange Playlist is at 12:05 here on ITV1. That's after all the week's action involving the East Anglian clubs in Anglia Soccer Night.